So today, we're going to take a look at 10 heroes who can beat Martian Manhunter. Now, John Jones is arguably the strongest, the most powerful member of the Justice League, but like we've learned with all heroes, with all characters, he's not unbeatable. Who can take him down? Well, that's what we're here to find out. But first, we're going to talk a little about Martian Manhunter and just what his powers are. Now, Manhunter possesses powers and abilities that are common to all Martians, but it's routinely shown that he is the most powerful member of his race. He has superhuman strength on par with Superman and Wonder Woman, and he helped him to move the Earth before, and he is able to increase his strength even more by growing in size. His durability allows him to take punches from foes like the Man of Steel and Despero, and just like with strength, he can increase his invulnerability by altering his density to become super dense. Him and other Martians have demonstrated speed that allows him to keep up with the Flash for a while, and he's also able to fly and maneuver at these great speeds as well. John has an incredible healing factor and can recover quickly from almost any injury. He's even shown that he can regenerate his entire body from just a severed arm. Now, one of Martian Manhunter's more famous abilities is his shape-shifting power, which is where he can take on any shape that he wants and can form himself into any object or organism alive, extinct, or just imagined. He's able to grow multiple arms, can stretch his limbs however long he wants, and can become as immovable or flexible as he desires. He can grow to the size of buildings, and his shapeshifting is actually so great that it extends down to the chemical composition of his body, like the time where he turned his skin into a thick exoskeleton of human bone. Manhunter can lower his density in order to become intangible, and he often uses this power in combat in order to protect himself from an enemy's attack. He can also make himself become invisible. This is a full-on invisibility, where he's not even detectable on the entire electromagnetic spectrum, and Superman hasn't been able to see him before. John is the most powerful telepath on the planet, and is even able to affect Dr. Fate and the Spectre with his telepathy. He can create illusions, shut down people's minds, influence thoughts or mind control, and can create mental shields. He's also able to shoot powerful blasts of sonic energy and create sonic shields. John also has Martian vision and Martian breath, which is similar to Superman's heat vision and freeze breath. So who can beat him? We'll start off with the Flash. Now, the reason that Flash can win this one is simply because of his speed. I know I said earlier that Martian Manhunter can keep up with Flash, but not if he's going all out. Barry is just much faster than Manhunter, and if he is going all out, then John really has no way of catching him. He's also able to steal an opponent's speed, which would render Manhunter physically motionless. We've seen Flash use his infinite mass punch to send a white Martian flying halfway across the planet. So if Flash is able to land multiple infinite mass punches while avoiding Manhunter's attacks, then John is pretty much done for here. Flash can even transport Manhunter into other dimensions or trap him in the Speed Force. And then Flash can counter Manhunter's intangibility by phasing to the same frequency and making it a non-factor. The catch to all this, though, is Martian Manhunter's telepathy. How will Flash match up against that? Well, the Speed Force actually gives Flash a resistance to telepathy, since Barry's mind is racing so fast that it makes it very difficult for telepaths to read it or control it. And if he's focused and moving non-stop, then Flash can take down Manhunter. So now we got the Dog of War, Orion. Orion is the son of Darkseid and has actually been able to kill the Lord of Apocalypse before. So I would say that he is more than a match for Martian Manhunter. But his greatest asset in this fight is the Astro Force. Orion can use this to enhance his strength, speed, and durability, as well as create powerful energy shields and energy beams powerful enough to send Superman flying halfway across the planet. Orion's Mother Box has the ability to shield his mind from telepathic attacks, and can also guide his direction of attack in case Manhunter decides to turn invisible. John can get a few wins, mostly thanks to his intangibility and phasing, but I would say that Orion can win a couple as well. Shazam. So Shazam is definitely powerful enough to physically hang with Martian Manhunter, and I would even give Billy the advantage in terms of speed. John definitely has a leg up in other areas, and his telepathy, intangibility, and shapeshifting are going to be difficult to counter, but I'll say that Shazam is durable enough to survive the intangibility and shapeshifting. Then if Billy is able to hit John with some powerful lightning strikes, magical lightning mind you, then the battle could swing in his favor, and he could cut him a few victories. Overall, I see Martian Manhunter winning the majority because of his telepathy, but I would say that Shazam is powerful enough to beat him at least a couple of times. Next up, we've got Wonder Woman. Now here's something that many people might not know. Wonder Woman is actually highly resistant to telepathic attacks. Her powers are a gift from the gods, and along with that gift came a high degree of durability to physical attacks, magic, and telepathy. Now resistance isn't the same thing as an immunity, but it does mean that it will be a whole lot harder for John to win via a telepathic attack. She has physical power that is on par with Manhunter, and is a much better fighter than he could ever hope to be. His intangibility is going to be a tough thing to counter, and he'll claim his fair share of victories with Wonder Woman's powers, her greater fighting abilities, her telepathic resistance, and her sword and lasso granted to her by the gods. I'd say she can win some as well. So now we're moving on to Firestorm, who has the ability to manipulate matter any way that he sees it. Firestorm could very easily defeat Martian Manhunter by turning his costume or his surrounding area into fire. Now John has a weakness or phobia of fire instilled in all the Martians by the Guardians of the Universe, so when he's exposed to fire, he just kind of shuts down. Then if that doesn't work, which I'm 99% certain that it would, Firestorm can also simply trap Manhunter in the Firestorm Matrix. Next up is Zatanna. This one is a whole lot like Firestorm. Now I will give to John, as he is much more powerful than Zatanna and could easily end the sorcerers with a speed blitz or telepathic attack. However, Zatanna can also very easily use her magic to set John on fire and end the fight before it even begins. So with that, I gotta say Z can win. Not just because of the fire attacks though, but also because of her ability to manipulate reality, and she's also just a very high tier sorceress. Lobo. Now this one's pretty fun. First, I will give you that Lobo isn't necessarily a hero, but counter, he's not necessarily a villain either. He kind of falls into his own category and does his own thing. He's teamed up with Earth's heroes before, so I think at best you can call him an anti-hero. Now Lobo is on par with Superman and Manhunter in terms of strength, but his greatest advantage is his incredible healing factor. I mean, Lobo can heal from basically anything, and I do mean anything. One time he even shot himself in the head just to prove that he could take it. And then Lobo is also immune to telepathic attacks, since his mind is constantly playing rock music. He's even resisted a being that was able to mind control Martian Manhunter. He's also been seen punching a ghost, so intangibility shouldn't be a problem for him, and that takes away John's advantage in that area. And he's resistant to Superman's heat vision, so John's Martian vision shouldn't affect him either. All in all, I see Lobo taking the victory in this one. Superman. So I've actually made a whole video on this one and claimed that Martian Manhunter was the winner, but I do believe that Clark can claim a few victories. For starters, Clark actually has a remarkable degree of resistance to telepathic attacks, even once launched by John, and so it'll be more than difficult for Martian Manhunter to attack him that way. And the Superman is more powerful in terms of raw power, so he'll eventually win any solely hand-to-hand fight. But his greatest asset is his heat vision. In fact, in the Injustice storyline, Superman was actually able to kill a Manhunter simply with his heat vision. And while I don't know if John will actually die here, he definitely can be beat a couple of times. Green Lantern. So starting out, Green Lantern actually has defenses against telepathy thanks to the ring. He's also got a whole lot more versatility on his side, and how shields have been able to temporarily hold back people as powerful as Manhunter before. What I really want to talk about is another instance from Injustice, where Superman actually lives with the Green Lantern Chip. Chip was able to use its ring to stop the synapses from firing Superman's brain. And if Hal is able to think that small, and that particular, and really that strategic, then he should be able to pretty easily take down Martian Manhunter. And finally, we've got Batman. Now let me just say that this one right here requires prep time. Obviously, it definitely will. But with that prep time, Batman should be able to take down Martian Manhunter. Look at it this way. Batman has been able to defeat White Martians before prep time, and he's also come up with plans on how to take down every single member of the Justice League, which would include Martian Manhunter. It would have been an extremely hard fight, but John has a pretty easy weakness to exploit, and I say that Batman can beat him. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, I want to try out a new closing, something different to say. So any suggestions will be more than welcome down in the comments too. Also, finally, be sure to hit the subscribe button for videos just like this one every single day.